10 fastest Pontiac muscle cars ever made. These are the fastest accelerating muscle cars Pontiac ever built. The 1966 Pontiac Catalina 2+2 could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 7 seconds. While its design leaned more towards classic personal luxury, with a wider, more refined appearance compared to other muscle cars on this list, it packed a serious punch under the hood. The Catalina 2+2 featured a powerful 6.9-liter high-output V8 engine, equipped with 3 dual-barrel Rochester carburetors, generating an impressive 376 horsepower and 461 pound-feet of torque. Despite using the same engine as the 1964 model, the 1965 and 1966 Catalinas benefited from a new 3-speed torque converter transmission, which significantly boosted their performance.
Numbers.
(1967) Pontiac Firebird 400. The 1967 Pontiac Firebird 400 could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.4 seconds. Following the release of Chevrolet's first-generation Camaro, which boasted up to 375 horsepower from a big block V8, Pontiac responded with a muscle car of their own, the Firebird. Designed to compete with the powerful Fords and Dodges of the era, the first-generation Firebird quickly established itself as a formidable contender. The top-of-the-line engine was a 6.6-liter V8, delivering 325 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. This potent combination allowed the Firebird to complete the standing quarter mile in under 15 seconds, marking its place as a true muscle car icon. (1965) Pontiac GTO, 5.8 seconds. The first-generation GTO, short for Gran Turismo Homologado, started as a desirable trim level on the 1962 Pontiac Tempest. By 1965, the GTO had undergone several changes compared to the already special 1964 version. The 1965 model featured a longer and heavier body, along with various mechanical upgrades. Buyers had the option to choose from different versions of Pontiac's newly revised 6.4-liter V8, which produced up to 360 horsepower and 431 pound-feet of torque. When equipped with a limited slip differential and the sought-after 4-speed manual transmission, the 1965 Pontiac GTO could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.8 seconds and complete the standing quarter mile in 14.5 seconds at 100 miles per hour. (1970) Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, 5.8 seconds. By 1970, the Pontiac Firebird had established a solid reputation, entering its second generation with the introduction of the top-of-the-line Trans Am trim, which was not available in the 1969 model year. The 1970 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am borrowed its engines from the GTO, offering either a 335 horsepower Ram Air 3 or a 345 horsepower Ram Air 4, both equipped with 6.6-liter V8 engines. The main difference between the Firebird Trans Am and the GTO's engines was the restricted carburetor in the Firebird's case. Despite this, due to its weight and overall build, the performance was nearly identical. The 1970 Firebird Trans Am could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.8 seconds and remains one of the greatest Pontiac Firebirds ever produced. 1969 Pontiac GTO, 5.8 seconds. By 1969, the Pontiac GTO had established itself as a distinct model and a highly competent competitor in the American muscle car market. It featured a 6.6-liter V8 engine, which would later be used in the Firebird Trans Am, but was tuned for greater power in the GTO. The top-spec versions were equipped with Pontiac's Ram Air 4, delivering 370 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque, which was nearly the same as the 375 horsepower output of the 1970 Ford Mustang. The 1969 Pontiac GTO was exceptionally fast and proved to be a formidable option at the drag strip. Capable of accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds and completing the standing quarter mile in 14 seconds. 1973 Pontiac Trans Am, 5.6 seconds. The versatile second-generation Firebird Trans Am is just as comfortable picking up groceries as it is on the racetrack. Although the model experienced a decrease in power compared to its first-generation predecessors, performance actually improved. The maximum horsepower increased to 310 from the 300 horsepower of the 1972 model. The 1973 Firebird Trans Am could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.6 seconds when equipped with Pontiac's Superduty 400 engine. This impressive engine of 455 cubic inch V8 also produced up to 395 pound-feet of torque. Additionally, the 1973 Trans Am broke the 14-second barrier for the standing quarter mile with a time of 13.8 seconds. 1962 Pontiac Catalina Superduty 421, 5.4 seconds. This might come as a surprise given the other vehicles mentioned, but the 1962 Pontiac Catalina Superduty 421 is not only one of the fastest Pontiacs ever made, but also quicker than rivals such as the Chevrolet Impala 409. True to its name, the 1962 Catalina Superduty 421 was powered by a massive 6.9-liter V8 engine, delivering 405 horsepower and 425 pound-feet of torque, making it the most powerful Pontiac engine on this list. Many testers believe that the official power figures understated the Superduty 421's true output, a claim supported by the Catalina's impressive acceleration. It could reach 60 miles per hour in just 5.4 seconds, an astonishingly fast time for its era. (1971 Pontiac GTO, 5.4 seconds. The Pontiac GTO package, initially introduced in 1970 as a primarily aesthetic option for the now obscure Pontiac T37 model line, saw significant improvements in 1971. The GTO package was upgraded to include Pontiac's most desirable engines, which had previously been reserved exclusively for the GTO. The top models featured two versions of the Pontiac 445 cubic inch engine, producing 325 horsepower in its base form and 335 horsepower in the high-output version. While not excessively powerful by modern standards, this engine also delivered up to 480 pound-feet of torque, enabling the 1971 Pontiac GTO to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.4 seconds. (2002 Pontiac Trans Am WS6, 5.1 seconds. Entering the realm of modern Pontiacs, the 2002 Pontiac Trans Am WS6 stands out as one of the brand's most distinctive vehicles. The design of the 2002 Trans Am WS6, with its unique exterior look, was either loved or disliked by enthusiasts. However, its performance is undeniably impressive. Powered by a 5.7-liter V8 engine, which was also used in the similarly powered Chevrolet Camaro, the Trans Am WS6 produced 325 horsepower and 340 pound-feet of torque. While these numbers might not seem extraordinary by today's standards, they were sufficient to propel the lightweight Trans Am WS6 from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.1 seconds and achieve an electronically limited top speed of 160 miles per hour.
That sounds good.
2008 Pontiac G8 GXP, 4.5 seconds. Released just 2 years before Pontiac was effectively discontinued by General Motors, the 2008 Pontiac G8 GXP is an exceptionally competent muscle car. It outpaces the 2008 Ford Mustang GT to 60 miles per hour by several tenths of a second, achieving the sprint in just 4.5 seconds compared to the Mustang's 5.3 seconds. This performance places it in the same league as vehicles like the BMW M5. The 2008 Pontiac G8 GXP is powered by a 6.2-liter V8 engine that delivers a perfect 1-to-1 power-to-torque ratio, producing 415 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. Although we will never know what impact it could have had if released earlier, the G8 GXP might have been Pontiac's potential saving grace. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and make sure you're subscribed. Until next time.